Welcome into your 15-minute weather. I'm meteorologist John Ziegler. Well, I feel bad for folks across the metro. We had a lunar eclipse actually this morning, if you didn't realize it. Now, I'm still trying to get photos from people. I know that there was a couple that I saw in Alexandria. There was a little bit of clearing, but I'll take you back, even though a lot of people didn't get to see this. This actually did happen this morning. We had a total lunar eclipse. This thing started at 3:50 this morning when we had a partial eclipse. Again, that's when you're starting to see some of the oranges and reds. The total eclipse was at 5:04. If you saw that this morning, incredible. It peaked at 5:33, and then it was already over by 6:02. So you had about 1 hour, not even 58 minutes to be exact, to actually see this total lunar eclipse. The next one is going to be on June 26, 2029. Temperatures out there today, they have been very warm. This is what we're going to be talking about this week. And we're going to run through this here today. We're going to be talking about the severe threat that is coming in across the country. Really, the whole week is about the warmth driving severe spring storms. Meteorological spring started, and man, is it off and running down in Missouri and Oklahoma, and we'll talk about that here. So again, showers to the south here. That's even this morning, but we got lucky this morning. Our lows were at 33, not 30, and that was just plain old rain. And then we hit a stretch of 50s, and we're looking at 3 days here, today, tomorrow, and Thursday, all going to be absolutely fantastic, great weather. And then Friday, soaking rain likely on Friday. We're expecting kind of that, it might be a washout on Friday. And Saturday is the day where we're expecting a little snow in the morning. Now, when you're this far out on a March system, we are expecting some major changes. So that doesn't mean that this won't end up working out, but I could see some snow. I could see a little bit more snow in western Minnesota than we forecast now. I could see some cold air getting involved and having a snowstorm across central Minnesota. I would say that that's only a 30% chance. There's probably a slightly better chance that we're going to see snow overnight in lower amounts. Temperatures have been warming up here today really nicely. 11 degrees warmer in Alexandria, 10 degrees warmer than 24 hours ago in the metro, and we continue to see temperatures climb. So here's what we're looking at for the next 12 hours. We'll see temperatures hanging in the 40s. I mean, our low this morning was about 35, depending on where you were at. And then we go into this afternoon, and we'll go into the 40s. I think the high today gets near 50. So 43, 46, 47. What I like about today is we have light southwest winds at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And tonight, when you have southwest winds, you shouldn't be able to cool down much. Again, it should hold the temperature pretty nice. If we completely clear out, maybe you go back into the low 30s, but this is just becoming the norm. It's just this lighter jacket type weather. Now, this is an interesting thing. Around the country, the snowpack varies, or I should say region. The snowpack varies. There's snow down here. You can actually see the cooler air, I guess, if you want, down to the south. Then there's us here, Menominee, Twin Cities, Wilmer area. We're right in the upper 40s, low 50s, and then you go back to snowpack. So snowpack has led to a little bit of fog in Bemidji here, and we're still wrapping up some of that morning fog. But I'm just saying it's uncommon typically. Let's say we both had the same environment. Mankato is going to be 4 or 5 degrees warmer than the Twin Cities every day, right? With the same environment, same cloud cover, so same sunshine, same ground, no snowpack. They've got snow on the ground. And in fact, I could just circle the area here. It's pretty obvious. Actually, tomorrow might be even more obvious. I'm not saying that this is going to be completely accurate, but there's just snow on the ground here. And this is uncommon when you go to go the past couple of weeks. This whole area was in the 60s when we were in the 30s, right? It was super dramatic because we had snowpack and they did not have snowpack. Well, now it's the complete opposite. So you're going to see this area like the Twin Cities. We're at 54. It's going to be cooler to the north, snowpack. Again, Wednesday, watch out for, when there's so much melting snow, you got to watch out for fog. So watch out for fog to the north. And then to the south, an odd day where Jackson, Mankato, Rochester will not be as warm as the metro. I think we're the warm spot. Same with Menominee. And that is because of that lack of snow on the ground in that area. Now, this is the part, I had to take this out of the archives, but this is the most important thing. We're going to start using the word precip. Why? Well, it means anything. It means it could be snow, it could be rain, it could be thunderstorms, it could be sleet, it's just something falling out of the sky, precipitation. Friday, to me, it's already over an 80% chance. So we're into the 80 to 100% chance range. That's where you're at likely. Now, when you put all three of these together, it's about 100%. So it's going to happen. Now, the question is when. It looks like it's mainly Friday, but to me, it looks like it's going to be waves of precipitation. So in the morning hours on Friday, we might get rain, and this is the part that could change. Now, let's say we get a bunch of rain Friday morning. That would eliminate the storm threat and give us a little bit better chance for some snow to mix in. And the reason for that is you don't want the system, well, unless you want snow, you don't want the system to slide east. If it slides east, precip comes in earlier Friday and you're colder. If it stalls, then you get a better chance for storms. So a stalling front allows temperatures to warm a little bit more, and then you can see the storm. So right now we're at 50 degrees. 50 degrees. Now, that's kind of the starting point. If it goes in the 40s, more snow. If it goes into the upper 50s, more thunderstorms. We're right on the edge, and we'll talk about that too. Saturday, mainly dry. Saturday night, Sunday, also looking mainly dry. And then at this point of the year, whenever you see precip, you've got to understand there's a chance for snow. Every time, I don't care. Even if it's 65 degrees and you see precip in March, I'm not saying it's always going to snow, but there's going to be a chance for snow. We'll keep an eye on that into next week. But for now, we're going to try to focus a little bit more on the short term. Let's take a look at the country here. Kind of talk about how we get active. So this is what makes this country, not just us, but the whole U.S. active. Because I lived in Missouri. I lived down here near Arkansas. I live right there in Springfield, Missouri. We got severe weather 6 straight days sometimes in March or April or May. Now, the storms shut off in June, July, August. We'd only get them like once a month. And the reason for that is because of unlimited moisture from the Gulf and these reoccurring low pressure centers off the jet stream. But this is an early setup for severe weather, but it's happening right now. So, so last thing, the Minnesota area, Wisconsin, whatever, we do not reload. We get severe weather, we get tornadoes. We don't reload like they do in Missouri. Right? Reloading as in like severe threats, tomorrow do the same thing. The next day do the same thing. Most of ours are progressing. Most. Sometimes you get reloading storms in the Dakotas. It's uncommon to get them in Minnesota, Wisconsin. Again, here's why. So at this time of the year, we have a very nice setup. So the jet stream is like this, okay? There's the jet, okay? The jet stream is like this. What is the reason for all this severe weather? This is a perfect jet, not only for severe weather, but if you see an active severe weather setup down in the southern parts of the states, you got to think that we're going to get snow. So to me, this pattern screams snow in March at some point. It just does. But the idea here is there's all of these little lows that'll come in on this thing. They work their way up. Now, at the surface, what you're looking for is if you can get a quiet, let me get rid of that one. I want to put a high here. So we're going to put a high pressure here. So you want to see quiet weather in Florida, and you want to see this trough build out west. Because what this trough is doing is it's actually launching little pieces of energy, which you need for shear in the atmosphere across the country. But the setup needs to be this way. Now, for us, I'll just keep drawing in here. This is what you're looking for. So what this does, this pumps in moisture right out of the Gulf. It matches up with the low coming up here. And where do you think you get severe weather? To me, you get severe weather right here, right? That would be the setup for severe storms, understanding how this works. So high pressure, give me a quiet Atlanta and a quiet Florida for a little while. Keep a high pressure pumping in moisture, because at the end of the day, what we're tracking is called a low-level jet stream. This is what these red bars indicate. Low-level jet is kind of like the gasoline hooked up into a car. It's the gasoline of the storms. The car is the low, right? The car is the low. The low's moving along. You can get a dry low pressure center if you don't have gasoline. So you need the gasoline. The gasoline pumps into this low, and then you'll get this area of severe storms right where they meet up. And now when we look at this over the next 3 to 4 days, you're going to see, this is how you reload. This is going to be an area that reloads storms one after the other across Missouri, Oklahoma, Texas, and Arkansas. And again, this stuff drifts, but just understand this is going to be an active period. And a really nice setup here because of that. So there's kind of the setup for you. Now let's go day to day and take a look at day to day. So what do you know? Wichita, Oklahoma City, Springfield. I always called this the triangle when I was in Springfield. See, I can put Springfield on here. Miss you, Springfield. So I always called this the triangle here. Let me see if I can get OKC. Where's OKC? There you go. So OKC, Wichita. I always called this, when I lived down there, I always said, oh, this is the triangle. So the triangle is here. And this is where the nastiest weather in the country is. I call it the triangle. What happens is a lot of times these storms pop and develop there, and then they turn into what I call QLCS. So you see this very frequently. So these supercells develop here, they turn into a line, and then they run this way. This is, and I know that because I lived there. We would get all these overnight tornado threats and a lot of Boeing QLCSs. But that's the setup in the country. Guess what? That's just today. Let's go to tomorrow. Where do you think the situation is tomorrow? Well, it doesn't move. So I took a little bit of a further back look at this so you could see where the storm systems is at. But here's Missouri now, Springfield, but they're in this next threat, and now it's Dallas. Dallas up here. So you get the severe thunderstorms, they turn into a line, and then they roll. What is reloading? So when I say the term reloading, what would that mean? So you had a little progression here to here. Reloading means it's going to start back here. And that's exactly what happens. And that's because of that setup that we talked about at the beginning. So here we go again. Now we reload it. It's like a restart. It's kind of like a hamster wheel, right? You've got to break that high pressure from pumping moisture into this thing. As long as that low-level jet stream is cranking, you're going to have chances for severe weather. Because now, they fluctuate on strength because of how strong the low pressure is, how much shear we have in the atmosphere. The more shear you have, the stronger these things are. But what you'll also notice is Thursday, this thing starts to creep up into Omaha. You see this getting up into northern Iowa here, coming into Des Moines. So this is going to be getting close to the Twin Cities. Now we'll go into Friday, and I'm going to talk about this here. Now you'll see Madison, Chicago, Des Moines. This is early in the year for it. Also, the SPC does not, why are we not in marginal threats and slight risk anymore? That's because once you're at day 4 and 5, the SPC does not issue in words. They do it in percentages. Also, the SPC, whenever they're going to issue something at a 15 or 30%, it doesn't seem that significant. It actually is, because if they're going that far out, they think something is going to happen. And that's because that actual low itself is driving across the system, or the country, I should say. So let's go into Friday. Right now, it is mainly rain. So you see the system coming in as mainly rain. Watch the back side of this. Remember, there's always snow. The question is how much snow on the back side of these low pressure centers. So this low comes in Friday at noon, and then you'll see, I actually think the thunderstorms would happen more on the later parts of it, Friday night into Saturday morning. These would be storms right here. You see these two right here coming into Madison? Those would be storms. What also do you see here? Notice how close the rain to the snow is. The snow is literally next to the storms. That's what happens in March. The gradient of temperatures is extreme. So you might see this area down here. You might be in the, well, that's terrible. There we go. This area, you might be in the 60s. This area here, you might be in the 30s. So 60s, 30s within what? 100 miles? So yeah, that's why also you've got to be careful on how you forecast these things. Continuing on, yes, you will see some snow on the backside. Now, where's the best chance for some snow? Now, the best chance for snow is going to be, hold on, I lost it here a little bit. Best chance for some snow is going to be right here. So yeah, you can see this Twin Cities is close, okay? I'm not saying it's not. We will get a potential inch or two right here. So if you are in Alexandria, if you're in areas near St. Cloud, we have a chance for snow into Saturday morning. Right now, it doesn't scream anything wild or anything like that, but it is going to be entirely possible to get that. All right, let's go over the next 7 days here. You could see 54 on Wednesday, 54 on Thursday, rain showers Friday, and then we'll change over to that mix on Saturday. Now, is that going to be exact? Of course not. Remember to set your clocks forward as daylight savings times begin, and we spring forward. Thank you guys so much for nerding out with me. Have a good one.